Alrighty, I have no idea what the hell that was. Give me a second, folks. I'm doing something a little bit differently tonight. Differently. A little bit different tonight. Get some music going. Da, 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 da. Love this dude. Okay. Yeah, let's get let's get started here in a moment. Du, 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 du. Twitch pulled up on my phone. Alrighty. Copy. Yeah. Hey boy. Okay. That took a little bit longer than I planned, but you know what? Okay. So, get the music going, at least for this part. Y'all probably wondering what the whole world building thing's about. Well, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do for the stream tonight. And I figured, I'll get Microsoft Paint up, that I'd do something just a little bit different. And I figured we'd indulge in a little bit of old school D&D-esque world building. Now, bear in mind, we're not going to be able to just create an entire world with pantheon, lore, history overnight. You got to work from a foundation. You got to set up a foundation to work from. All right. Let's get some Microsoft Paint up and running. Okay, that is not working. Never mind. All right, there we go. Okay. So, there's three things when building a fantasy world that kind of helps set the premise for whatever adventure your player is going to be a part of. You have, I guess the best way to put it, the world before / golden age, the cataclysm that did it in, and then the world after. So let's say we go with a classic trope. We'll say Reign of the Dwarves. I know. Tolkien's spinning in his grave right now. Oh, come on. Apparently I can't spell it. There we go. There we go. Got a little bit of... Okay, so with the... Or, no. Reign of the Dwarven Kings. That sounds actually a little bit better. Okay. So this is the before time right here. I changed the size of this. Alright. So what was it marked by? Well, obviously we're dealing with dwarves, so great kingdoms. It was marked by great kingdoms, obviously. High trade. Okay, so we have high trade. Wealth beyond comprehension. Because comprehension and let's see, what else are dwarves known for? I should have actually wrote some of this shit out before I started doing this, but fuck it, we're balling. Okay. Okay, so we have mines that dredged up rare and precious metals. Alright, they dredged up rare and precious metals from the deepest places. Deepest places of the earth. Okay. Hi. Marked also by craftsmen. Or no. And marked by some of the finest craftsmen. The world had ever seen. Mining operations were extremely extensive. Had an advanced logistical support system, rail cars, refineries, smelters. And shipping. Kind of the boring part, like how do they support this? That's something I always think of when I'm building. Really? Let me see something here. Oh. Okay, so you got your Reign of the Dwarven Kings. Basically, great Dwarven kingdoms, lots of trade, wealth beyond comprehension, mines that dredged up rare and precious metals from the deepest places of the earth, marked by some of the finest craftsmen the world had ever seen. Mining operations were extremely extensive and had advanced logistical support, obviously, because you got to be able to feed the people that's working under you. Okay, so what else would that have had? Alright, so we have the good year. Basically, Reign of the Dwarven Kings, marked by vast Dwarven empires, kingdoms, extensive trade between them and the surface. You have wealth beyond comprehension being dredged up from underneath. Oh, god damn it. Okay, I gotta resize this. Hold on a minute, folks. Or is he just stupid? Alright. And it was marked by some of the most extensive mining operations that the world would have seen. So yeah, it was a good year. Good year to be a dwarf or any of their trading partners. So what caused the fall? Well, we have any number of things to choose from. Or not fall, yeah. So basically, when it comes to your before time, obviously, if I actually took the time to write out more, I could probably come up with something a little bit more extensive, but that's just stuff I came up off the top of my head. Yeah, before time, prosperity, peace, wealth, all the good stuff that goes with it. And then you have the cataclysm, which, again, was basically caused the fall. Now, technically, I should probably come up with a decline or a steady slide into decline, but in this case, well, like I said, we're just doing something pretty basic. Okay, so what happened with the decline? Let's see. Well, we have a couple of different options. We could go with the classic of dragons. You could maybe having kingdoms, could have been a war between them and the surfacers. It could have been anything, but actually, you know what? Let's go with the rise of the goblin kingdoms. Or rise of the goblin tribes. Alright, rise of goblin tribes / Great Fire. Okay, we'll call that the Great Fire. Oh, what the hell? Okay, there it goes. It took a second to process. Okay. So, I decided to go with a little bit of a multifaceted thing. So, you have the Rise of the Goblin Tribes and the Great Fire. Alright. So, I would say the Rise of the Goblin Tribes probably came from, let's see, complacency. Goblin tribes were routinely, we'll say they were routinely culled by the Dwarven Empire, by the Dwarven Kingdoms. Okay. Oh. Oh. Okay. Anyways, sorry about that. That's something pop up in my mind. Okay, so goblin tribes are routinely called by the Dwarven Kingdoms to prevent them from becoming a larger threat. Alright, so essentially what the dwarves would do, they'd go through and they would essentially smash up any would-be goblin warlords. Any larger bands that decided they were going to get a little bit on the uppity side, Dwarven armies would just show up and pop, pop, pop. Minister the belt. Okay. Unfortunately, the survivors eventually started getting a bit smarter, which unfortunately sometimes happens. But these purges eventually wised up and began to slip away. That's the best word we can use. They eventually began to slip away. They wised up, got smart about how they did things. Maybe sack the odd caravan here, or maybe singe an outpost there. Here, sack a caravan there. But it really wasn't enough to say, really give the... Okay. That is getting annoying. Oh, god damn it. Well, I just lost all that. Okay, hold on, folks. You know, I should have done this in... Okay. Okay, I gotta retype all this out. Here. Okay. Dwarven Empire. And I would say the Great... Well, we'll get to the Great Fire in a minute. Would routinely call the various tribes, the various goblin. Oh, you know, there was actually this game a while back I played called Goblin Commander. I have to see if I can't find that. Yeah, so they basically would call the goblin horrors to becoming a major threat. If not outright exterminating them. The survivors eventually adapted. While keeping their activity to a minimum. Sacking the odd care. I don't know why Paint's not showing this. When I'm typing this out, I should just stop. Show up in MS Paint. I should have just done this in Word, but I didn't. Caravan there. You know what? Give me a second to... I'm going to fire up Open Office and just write all this out in there. Whatever. Let me check a second to save this. World building exercise. Stream. Yeah, no, not the most creative. Alright. Before time, Dwarven Kings. Fuck you. Got spell check saying, hey, you can't type this. Oh, let's... Man. I like you, either. Yeah, I'm sitting here yelling at my, There. Okay. Got up in the office going, okay. Gonna get my, Times New Roman back to where it needs to be. Fuck you. Quit. Okay, let me try something. That's why Okay. So yeah. This is the before time. Marked by great trade. Before time. Marked by great trade. By great wealth. Extensive trade. That delved deep into the earth. Plays the Milky Mountain song. I shouldn't find that near as funny as I do, but it's pretty funny. Oh, God. Well, I had to come up with something, Ginger. Okay, anyways. The Dwarven Craftsman create great wonders. I've never seen. Alright, so now we have the catastrophe, which is basically what ends up doing in whatever civilization came before during your... Let's see. It was 9 for mortal men, 7 for the dwarf lords, and 3 for the elves. That's not quite the world I'm going for there. Hey, the Tolkien estate called. They're looking to sue. Okay, so we have Rise of the Goblin Tribes and the Great Fire. Oh, god damn it. Okay, why is that still on 12? Okay. So, initially, the Goblin Tribes, as stated before, were steadily cold. Were routinely cold by the Dwarven kingdoms, as to prevent them from rising up as a major threat. Because you'd be surprised about the kind of damage even just a few guys that are smacking around a couple caravans could do. No, we're not going to say roaming to prevent them from becoming a major threat. Eventually, as stated before, the survivors of these raids, or not raids, of these instances, wised up and began to limit their activities. We'll go with that. They limited their activities. So here's the thing. A lot of any kind of major organization, be it government, corporation, whatever, they're usually going to ignore smaller fish and, well, actually, no, more governments than anything. I don't know about corporations. Well, I guess if they're not cutting into their bottom line, I could see that happening. So yeah, corporations, governments, generally aren't going to worry about the small fry until they actually have to start worrying about them. So we'll say that they limit their activities occasionally, as well as move well out of the way into areas far too remote that would eventually that would potentially overstretch the Dwarven army's supply lines, or potentially cost more in order to go after them than it would be worth. And we've all seen that before. Sometimes the juice ain't worth the squeeze is basically what ended up happening here. They basically located areas so remote that the Dwarves just kind of didn't really consider them a threat. It was worth. Eventually consider them a non-threat. Complacency is the enemy. Okay, so the Dwarven kingdoms eventually grew complacent. Securing their own power. Okay. In their own power. Securing their own power, wealth, and superiority. Where have we seen this one before, guys? So yeah, Dwarven kingdoms eventually grew complacent, securing their own power, wealth, and superiority. This would eventually become their downfall. Would eventually lead to their downfall. Now, I'd like, as much as I would love the idea of the goblins coming out as screaming hordes, like, ah, running headlong into dwarven crossbows, I don't think that's actually what happened. During this time, there were also, we'll say there were also troubles in the mines. All right, during this time, trouble began when the mines began. When the existing mines began to run dry on resources. And that would be a big problem, because think about it, if your industry is primarily predicated on mining, like the extraction of raw materials, the smelting, all that, when your mines start to go dry, that could potentially have an effect on your economy. A big one. Okay, so you have this extensive mining network, but it's starting to put out less and less. It's starting to cost more to maintain it than it's actually dredging up. So now you got to prospect new areas. And the question is, okay, let me write that all in. Cost of running the mines eventually began to dwarf. It's dwarfing the dwarves. Okay, so cost of the mines began to eventually dwarf the running the mines began to dwarf the profit, which began to send a great fire. You know what? Actually, we'll work this into the great fire. That's always that we'll work the whole running out of materials. Yeah. Ripple effects throughout the kingdom. All right. So let's see. Right, they're running out of materials now. The goblin tribes have pretty much been driven off. Okay. We'll say later with few, if any goblin incursions. Trouble would start. Yeah, trouble. The trouble would begin when the existing. The trouble would begin when the existing mines began to run dry. The cost of running them eventually began to dwarf the profits, which began to sizzle in ripple effects throughout the various kingdoms. Kingdoms as critical resources. To continue to maintain. Began running dry. Okay. So we'll say they began to run out of iron, they began to run out of copper, tin. whatever they use, adamantine. That's a classic one. Adamantine, mithril, whatever. Those all began to run out. And this kind of started to have an effect on other parts of the economy. Now, I'm not saying that the dwarves would be high. Well, again, a lot of them would probably be miners, craftsmen, if we're going with the stereotypical dwarf. But at the same time, you're going to have your brewers. Yeah, dwarves would be brewers, blacksmiths. I'm assuming they probably have bakers among them too. There have been a few publications that I've seen where you have dwarven or cooks. Began to affect their people. Okay, so this right here is where the trouble really begins. Now, in an attempt, okay, actually no. So let's see, what would that have started? I think this is where we start getting to the part of the Great Fire era. Well, obviously we'll solve the Goblin tribes. At the same time, Goblin tribes, there are reports. Ooh, excuse me. Of goblin sighting along the fringes of the various kingdoms. Alright. Okay, actually, no. We're going to move that down just a little bit, because this is where it starts the... Attempts were made at prospecting... Or, yeah. We'll say prospecting attempts were made... sounding farther and farther out. We'll say they sound farther and farther out and down. Oh, I didn't realize I saw that up. So yeah, they begin to sound farther and farther out and farther down. This also, so when resources were found, would occasionally lead into conflict with the other kingdoms. As border disputes would obviously be a thing. Okay, yeah, Alright. I don't know why the hell I was writing that out. I had checked something there for a moment. Something I had pop up across my screen just now. Hold on. Anyways. As while border disputes were not unheard of, God damn it. As border disputes were not unheard of. Okay, actually, time of relative peace. And I really will... I should probably expand upon the reign of the Dwarven Kings at some point, but... Retaliative. Peace was upon... marred only by Border war. Down, or smacking down the latest warlord uprising. Okay. There we go. Alright, so yeah, we have initially the Goblin tribes were not unheard of. Okay. So, and while border disputes were not unheard of, the increasing difficulty of finding the necessary resources. Yes. That is like one of the very few words in the English language I always spell wrong, no matter how hard I try. Necessary. Anyway, necessary resources to fuel their economy. Combined with the already okay. Combined with the already high costs of the expedition, led to, well, oh yeah, okay, high cost of the expeditions led to open war. So yeah, so resources are getting harder to find. You're having to go farther and farther out of your way to get them, and you have a bunch of other kingdoms who are in your area essentially competing for those same resources, as their own resources, at least a lot of the ones they need, are, well, tapped. While trading for them, yeah, well, trading for each one, for what each one had in abundance. Yeah, the smart thing to do would be to trade for whatever you have in excess of, for what they needed. Okay, so yeah. So while trading with each one had an abundance for what they needed was a more logical solution, this was not... I guess the best way to put it is this wasn't on the table. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, I'm thinking here. Because it might be easy enough to trade, but... one-to-one exchange rates were not necessarily guaranteed. As there were already yeah. There were several instances of there are some of gouging prices, which wouldn't surprise me, because think about it this way: if you're already competing with another kingdom and you have something they need, and fuck. I'm thinking here because I think I may have written myself into a corner. You know, we'll come to... We'll just stick to that for now. We'll come back to that later. Okay. So, dwarves are fighting among themselves over the increasingly difficult to find materials. At the same time, there were reports of goblin sightings along the fringes of the various kingdoms. Unfortunately, while limited in scope, these were regarded as a non-issue. Yeah, so we'll say these were regarded as a non-issue as the goblins had been successfully beaten back and removed as any meaningful power. All right. So yeah, and had long been removed as a meaningful power. So yeah, Dwarven Kingdoms basically knocked these guys down to the point they were a non-issue. Now we've got some problems. However, over the last centuries, they'd been gathering their strength. They've been gathering their strength and sensing weakness. The various tribes decided it was time to strike. Okay. So yeah, Goblin tribes took advantage of the fact the dwarves were fighting among themselves over the scarce resources that were in their region of the mountain zone. Okay. So they began to overrun various outposts and fringe cities. Dwarven forces were redirected. Alright. Actually, no. The various kingdoms' responses were mixed. Some were unwilling to remove. Some unwilling to go with willing to give up their hard-earned resources. Their hard-won. Provided little, if any, either abandon these I'm thinking here because dwarves normally don't abandon their own. But if they're from another kingdom, yeah, we'll go with that. I'm willing to go with their hard-won resources or by their petty bickering that they were unwilling, that they did not. They allocated little, if any, resources to trying to and sacking fringe cities. Yeah, that will go there. Okay. So they were unwilling to really give up any of those resources they've won. They've already fed the fought. They spilled the blood. We're not giving this shit up. Started fortifying in their more important holdings. I realize I'm putting more effort into the catastrophe than I did into the era of peace, but well, we might do that next week. I haven't decided yet. Alright. Others rerouted troops. Alright. Others rerouted what troops they could to try and save these various cities. to save or to safeguard their borders, or at least limit the damage done. Okay. So, the Goblin tribes are steadily rising up. Chaos is good. Yeah, that's always a good one. Chaos is good. To a degree. Oh, damn, my Powerade bottle's empty. Okay, I got water. There ain't much water in there either. Oh, god damn it. Anyways. What the hell am I? Okay. Or at least limit the damage done. Okay, so they're trying to limit the damage done. Some dwarven kingdoms use this as an opportunity. To fund new expeditions into the deeper regions, while fortifying their holdings. Okay, so some use this as an opportunity. Really? I cannot spell tonight. Okay, so they have the expeditions into the deeper regions while fortifying their holdings. Their existing holdings. This is where we're going to see the Great Fire begin. As they delve ever deeper, something woke up. Okay. So, we might be aping off of Tolkien here a little bit. What is unknown? Okay, so what happened is unknown. But what supports came back for spoke of creatures of fire and shadow. Unbeknownst, okay. All right. Okay. Is that at the expedition? Okay, so we'll say the expedition, they disturbed something. I don't know what yet. Okay. Okay, so they came across the ruins of another. Alright, they came across ancient ruins. And after exploring them, came across. So yeah, they came across some ancient and made the mistake of disturbing them. And they made, yeah, okay. Okay. Dwarven, yeah. So yeah, this particular expedition came across some ancient ruins and made the mistake of disturbing them. and release whatever was inside. During the as whatever they unleashed. Okay, well, few reports survive. Spoke creatures of fire and shadow. Alright, so yeah. Spoke creatures of fire and shadow. A little bit of a classic there. As whatever they unleashed began attacking, the goblin tribes were steadily overrunning the kingdoms. Sacking fortresses, cities, and towns. And cities, even as the already overstretched Dwarven armies, yeah, made to rapidly overcorrect. Okay. Or made the attempt. Yeah. Hold on to what they had. Eventually, between these two forces, the kingdoms fell outside of a few holdfasts. Okay. So yeah. Basically, all this eventually is what did the Dwarven kingdoms then. You had your goblin tribes, which they kind of wrote off as a non-threat afterwards. You have steadily dwindling resources, an expedition that decided to wake up some ancient evil. Fun times all around. Okay, and then we have the aftermath. Okay. Okay, so now we have the Fallen Kingdoms. Oh, God damn it. It's like, no, I don't want to. We'll say it's been about nearly 3 centuries. Later. No, actually, we'll say 1,000 years. We'll go with the stereotypical 1,000 years later. And the caves and the caverns that have fallen to ruin, or are with the survivors being a shadow of their fall. Okay. So yeah, 1,000 years later, the kingdoms that they once inhabited fell to ruin. The doors once inhabited. Goblins of war. Okay, goblins and worse roam the passages. But for the intrepid adventurer, is a potential payday. The surviving Dwarven Holdfast. We'll say the surviving Dwarven Holdfast, paying vast sums of money for any artifacts or text that can be recovered. Okay, despite their best attempt. Okay, yeah. Never again to reach the heights. Okay, so yeah. Dwarven kingdoms, after they fell, they tried to rebuild. This just resulted in a lot more dead bodies. Nothing will ever be the same. That's how the aftermath works. When you have your catastrophe, your aftermath, nothing's never going to be the same. I think the best way to put it was something I heard in Fallout 3 from Memoria Brown. Is when a piece of glass, or when a bunch of stained glass breaks, and all the pieces can't, you try to fit the pieces back together, but they don't quite go back to the way they were. So you just do the best you can. Okay. Okay, so do a quick recap. When you're creating your D&D universe or whatever, you have your before time, which golden era, whatever, which is we did the reign of the Dwarven Kings. You have the catastrophe, which you had goblin tribes and fire monsters overrunning the Dwarven kingdoms, which eventually led to their downfall, a lot of knowledge being lost, and then the fallen kingdoms. 1,000 years later, they are a shadow of their former selves. Whatever's left of them are still trying to make some attempt at rebuilding, but they just can't quite get it right. So now you, as a GM or a player, have a chance to make fucking bank. Or maybe explore these these ruins. Get a sense of how things once were. Anyways, probably wasn't the best. Yeah. Probably wasn't the best thing to... Or I probably didn't do the best job for this, but you know what? First time for everything. Okay. So, that was the world building exercise I did just now. Maybe I'll do a few more of those at one of these days. Alright. So, let us switch games. I'm going to play some Mother Gunship. If I can get it working. There we go. Alright. Alright, Epic, don't be a bitch on me. Come on, Epic. Come on. Is my model's lips not tracking right? Well, before I start, I am going to go get a glass of water. I will be right back. You know, I just realized something. My BRB screen was not centered right. Hey! Oh my, hold on. I gotta reboot VC Pace. Hold on. I was not expecting that one. Okay. That was weird. Alrighty. Let's see if I can get Mother Gunship working. What the hell? Well. There's a Castlevania Anniversary Collection free on Epic right now. I may have to pick that up. There we go. Okay, cool. All my audio's good. Okay. Let's do this. I blew that up.
Sometimes our contract with Joe's Arms and Armory requires the use of certain parts. It's really whatever their marketing department is pushing that day.
You don't have to use them, but you have to bring them with you.
Ain't that nice? It's like the one mission I've had a hell of a time completing. I think for right now we can afford to not. Like, out of the way. Oh, nice. It's like the Ripper from Real. Move, move, move. Oh, shit. I need to actually... Watch it, watch it. Oh, shit. Already down to half health. Awesome. Yeah, I like movement mechanics, but sometimes there's a fine line between the movement mechanic being obnoxious and... Alright, well, let's check this out. Barrel, ricochet mod. Need some health. You know, we'll do that. Oh crap, we'll remove the saw blade launcher. I hate that gun. Really? Alright. There we go. Oh, that was close. Okay. My way, motherfucker. That was it. That was it. Spoke too soon. Come on. This one? Alright. Watch the guns over there. Awesome. I love these little bullet hell games, huh? Machine gun. Ow. And more health, please. Alright, let's build the biggest gun we can. Okay. Okay, we might have to actually... We might actually have to keep that. Oh, hey! Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'll do this one. What we got going on? Oh. Yeah, I know I was gonna fail that one. I'll run out of power here soon. Yep. Come on, jump. Jump, you fool. Oh. There we go. Yeah. Dipshit. There you innocent rejects. There we go. Vine shroom synthesizer. What do you guys think a vine shroom is? Sounds like a real funky... Connect to oval. No. Let's build an incredibly stupid gun. Fuck. So we're gonna stick with what's working, huh? Fuck. Well, yeah. Yep. We'll just keep that for the time being. Charge! I ran out of bullets. Let's do this one. First, let's get rid of these jokers, because I don't need to shoot anything like that. There's a bouncy floor. Oh. I don't have any coins. Oh, shit. Come on, make it fun. I just caught a bullet in my face. Good thing I don't play Toho games. I am really bad at dodging. I take bullet with my face. Oh, more energy. We like more energy. Alright, where are you, old? No, there's at least one more he is. There's some money. There's no money. We have 3 coins. Well, let's see if we can't strap more ridiculous shit onto this thing. So we're already firing spikes. And explosive barrels. And saw blades. L connector. Connector too long. Connector 3L. Actually, hold on. That wasn't what I was expecting. Well. Okay. The old heavy rock. Barrel. Okay. Oh. There we go. Gravity generator. Hey, look at that. We now have 3 guns on both sides. Generally, you only got 2 guns over here, but you know what? They work. And I'm out of juice. Well, let's see if I can make it work. I'm getting your face. Come here. Come here. Let's first make sure we ain't gonna. Yep. I knew we were gonna put the striker back here. Oh, we have a flame guy. Okay, that makes it even more fun. We got all kinds of chaos going right now. Oh. That's what the gravity generator does. I was wondering why my shots weren't going straight. Hey, more jumps. Okay. I know I saw a shop around here, so let's go check that out. Combat room. Oh, I saw a shop. Oh, maybe it's this room. We're gonna find out. Oh. Hey, that's the first time I've completed one of those. Oh! Alright, so in the future, do not be taken that. Alright. Oh, pressure booster. Oh, damn it, I didn't customize my gun. Oh. This is not a self-destruct button. Nope, definitely not.
That might have been too easy for you. But, I don't know, because I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, fuck you too. Well, the good news is, got a nice surplus of guns. Free space credit card. Mystery signed up flash mob. Everybody loves new sriracha flavor. So did shrapnel shampoo. The shower is a war zone. Aim for your. Alright. Well. Okay. Where are we at right now? Yeah, I think that's a good stopping point for the night. Appreciate everyone who came by.